back. We are back with the usual suspect, ferrets, and also an extra today. John was in Discord when we went through and we said we're going to do the show, and he's like, do you want to jump in? He's like, sure. So some of you may know John from Discord conversations that sometimes get accidentally streamed. But first of all, ferrets, hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Kind of excited.
Making happy ferret noises?
Not quite there yet, but we are starting to feel a little tingly, though.
Oh, a little warm and fuzzy on the inside. And Joe, how are you, John? How's your day been?
I'm good.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we have a lot of information to break down, guys. Today might be a bit of a longer show than we normally do.
Yeah, right.
We have patch notes, we have a roadmap, we have a suspicion of a ship. We also want to talk about the ship price for the Scorpio. I have a fair idea of what the price might be if I had to guess. So there's a lot to jump into. Let's just start. So we do have the patch. Obviously, guys, 3.13.1 has gone live. This is the patch that I believe was from yesterday, I believe.
I have to check the patch notes.
Yeah, well, I've got them up on the screen, and it does look like it's the same as the stuff that was from yesterday. Like, for example, the cursor may remain visible when isn't constrained to the game window. So we'll break it all down. We'll go through all these patch notes, and then we'll give you our thoughts and opinions, and then we'll jump straight into the roadmap. And by the way, with the roadmap, we do have quarter 1 of 2022. So for Star Citizen Alpha 3.13.1 live, 7426287 patch notes. So the Alpha Pack 3.13.1 has been released to the environment. Obviously, database reset is yes. Long-term persistence is enabled. New player starting is 20,000 UEC. Okay. Is that bumped up more than it usually is? I didn't think we got that much to start off with.
I don't know.
It's normally about 5.
Yeah. So interesting. No issue.
Yeah.
Cursors may remain visible and isn't constrained to the game window. Items missing after update, reset, obviously poached copy. Maximum number of 50 contacts shown in game, regardless of how many friends are present on Spectrum. Normally long delays between pickup and storing of FPS minables. Ship positioning desync. Star Citizen, really? This is ready to go live. Meet Miles Eckhart not working. Swapping FPS weapons drop weapons. Swapping FPS weapon drops weapons. So that bug's back. Medical pen is not healing blood loss. Oxygen is depleting while sitting in ships. Getting crime stat for killing law enforcement bounty targets. Mission targets NPCs not loading in, taking long time to load in when the object is reached. Customizable nameplates do not appear visible on multiple ship skins and variances. On landing pads, trolleys are unable to be pushed, pulled, or enter the cargo ramps or elevator ramps. Constellation can despawn when flying 30 kilometers away after undocking. Docking with a moving ship lags behind, causing a large snap into position. Trolleys found in Area 18 are clipping through the floor, yet again still, and players can spawn facing the wrong way at the start of Arena Commander or after dying. There's a lot of blockers in this.
So this is what we're giving to the Free Fly event? Oh boy, I can see Reddit now.
Yeah, I would say that this is not ready to go live. Which is probably why the PTU is still running at the moment. My guess is they've pushed this patch to live, and then they're going to try and patch the PTU to fix some of these blockers. And then if they can't, obviously they have the live version there. If they can, then obviously they'll push a patch on the 11th hour. But I would say this is not ready for a free fire event.
No, it's not.
I mean, if CIG throws this to the Free Fly event, that's I mean, that's a slap in the face right there.
Not only that, but like at the moment, they have this hype with this Bengal carrier and the javelin and everything, right? You've got the javelin tour, and let's face it, the freaking hype machine is going through the roof. There's a guy at work that I work with, right? He's been a backer since like 2014. He's one of like the original OG sort of backers, right? But not 2012, but 2014. And he hasn't jumped into Star Citizen for years, right? He backed it, he brought the Aurora, and it just sits in his little hangar. And he says he keeps up to date because I keep talking to him about what we get in patches, right? So he doesn't need to jump in to see what Star Citizen's doing because he knows what's doing because I'm literally beating him over the head with information about it. So at the end of the day, he's happy with that, right? He's happy backing the game. He's happy for them to go through and to complete the game, and then he'll jump in and then he'll start flying around. And meanwhile, he's happy listening to me talk about it. I was telling him about the Bengal carrier and the javelin tour, and his eyes perked up, and he literally said to me, "This might be a reason for me to jump in." Now, if he jumps in and he has all these problems, it's going to look bad not only for me, but it's going to look bad for CIG. He's going to look at this and go, "Holy shit, this is still buggy as fuck."
Oh yeah.
And like at the moment with the free fire event that they're planning on doing and stuff like that, like, yeah. And this list here seems to have grown from yesterday. Like, these are just the known issues.
Yeah.
Like CIG, you really, like, I imagine they probably got everybody and anybody working on this patch right now, trying to get this fixed. But like, to me, this patch is actually worse than the version we had before this, the PTU patch, which was 4, and I think it was like an eye patch. The eye patch was actually, I would say, was actually, the eye patch to me was actually a better patch than the J patch. So
just letting you guys know right now, in game, seems the backend servers are under a lot of problems right now because I can't even not customize my armor, my ships, or anything right now.
See, I think a lot of that has to do with them trying to incorporate iCache, which, looking at the roadmap, is still, I would say, starting to come in the next patch, major patch. So there might be some of that involved in too. But new features. So, ship to station docking, obviously adding the ability for players to dock large ships to the ports. Now, this is obviously your Javelin and Idrises are going to be docking, which you can't do at the moment. But things like your Hammerhead, your 890.
That's it really for right now.
Yeah, it's it for now. Obviously, things like the Hull C and stuff like that. We'll talk about that in a sec, by the way. But the Hull C and stuff like that will obviously need docking as well. But for the moment, it's just those two major ships. And it really is really cool, by the way. Seeing the Javelin dock is freaking fantastic. Ships and vehicles, the new vehicle Tumbler Nova, the C2 Hercules, and the M2 Hercules have also been added. Feature update gameplay, new Arena Commander mode, 1 vs 1 duel. Did you play that by any chance, Fizz?
What now? The 1v1?
Did you play the Arena Commander 1 vs 1 mode?
No, because I don't have friends, remember?
Nearing next stop.
Well, you do. But I just want to get a bit of a new job.
Whenever I play, no one else is on, so...
Yeah, that's your fault for being in America. Location and security.
I was born here. I did not have any choice in this, alright?
Location and services. Oh, don't worry, I might be going to America. The Australia's going down the go-go. Location services response will now be more aggressive based on criminal heat in the area and armistice violation changes. So they changed the armistice violation to give grace warning to be able to generate multiple infractions in a short time.
Nice.
Ships Ship to vehicle, obviously they've updated cockpit glassware on the F8 Hornet, the FC Hornet, and the FCM, and all Razor variances. And they've also ongoing Carrack performance optimization passes. Now, the major bug fixes, and
Excuse me.
there's a lot of bug fixing here, guys. So it fixed an issue causing the Star Citizen to crash immediately after pressing launch the game, which should make Ronan happy. Fixed an issue causing improper and inconsistent collision between ground cover, such as small vegetation having collision, large rocks having no collision, and vehicles. Account with large personal inventory should no longer cause service performance issues when joining the server. 300 series customization should now apply to ship in games. Players should no longer experience infinite loading screens when attempting to load into the PU. Players should no longer get stuck in infinite loading screen after bed logout in a ship. Chat should no longer be partially off the screen or super wide displays. All missions that take players to underground facilities will no longer withdraw when approaching. Freelancer Misk Max Endura turrets should no longer have limited motion or should now be aligned correctly. Players should no longer be able to steal other players' ships' AI and push ships through collision using gravity on the 890 jump hangar. Players should no longer be able to steal other players. FDS shields should no longer allow damage penetration when the ship is at speed. Refuel, rearm services at New Babbage should now function correctly. The docked Merlin on the pirate constellation should no longer be friendly and give a player a friendly fire warning during combat. The Drake Buccaneer landing gear should no longer disappear when retracted and should be visible when deployed. Landing gear should now animate correctly on all freelancer variances. The Talon should no longer sit properly. Should now sit properly and it's not clipping its nose into the landing pad. Pushing a trolley onto the cargo ramp or constellation will no longer cause the player to speed up while going over the ramp. Players should no longer be able to take other players' medipens from suits when interacting with them. Although it's not just pens, it's also things like hacking cards and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Players should... whilst Quim should no longer spawn away from his desk and face the wrong way or be floating. Chairs in the dining area of the Reclaimer should no longer be placeholder models. Doors open close toggles on the rock should now should function correctly. There should no longer be 2 exit prompts on the turret seat of the rock. Fixed an issue causing the Grey Cat rock to not receive as much damage as intended when vulnerable explodes. Vehicle barrier near the carriage should now be able to close after raising it. The vehicle... The side turret seat with the anvil carriage should no longer be missing an orange highlight when interacting with them. Hammerhead elevators should no longer collide with the ground at Port Al-Azhar. The Gladius ladder animation should now be playable properly after closing. The ladder is stored. Leaving a trolley in the doorway as it shuts should no longer clip through the floor and erratically kill players. Attempting to place food or drink near New Babbage should no longer sometimes cause the player to consume it instead. Fixed an issue causing minables to not spawn at aerial. Players' clothes should no longer clip through the undersuit when viewing PMA.
Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Discord, what did you do?
No longer be missing the SDF shields. Talon and the Shrike should now be able to be brought in game. They also fixed 13 client crashes, 6 server crashes, 4 main deadlocks, fixed multiple backend service crashes, and they also did some backend optimization. So, as much hate as we want to give Star Citizen for the bugs and the game-breaking bugs, they've also fixed a shit ton as well.
That's good.
Right. Sorry?
I said that's good.
Yeah. But there's still got a lot of backers and a lot of things that are broken that they need to fix before this should go live. I don't know, John. What do you think about this patch? What are your thoughts overall?
I just don't see how they're going to be able to fix all this shit in time for the free fly thing.
What have they got? 2 days?
Yeah, like
No,
I'd imagine they have a lot to do.
they have like a day left after 2 day.
Yeah. So, what time is it in America at the moment? It's like 6, 7 o'clock at night or something, isn't it?
Well, here it's 8 o'clock at night.
It's 8 o'clock for him.
I'm on
7
the East
o'clock
Coast.
for me. So.
Yeah, so it's pretty much today's over, and that would be Wednesday night. So they've really only got 1 day, really.
Yeah.
So,
honestly, it's just one of those things where, like, I hope they didn't just bite off more than they could chew in terms of like the expectations.
well,
Because
yeah, well,
this isn't looking good.
Well, so this is where we're sort of getting into 3.14. We'll talk about that in more depth in a minute. But Fez, you were saying that some things have dropped from 3.14.
Yeah.
Was that true? Or
Well,
without going into,
they haven't been dropped. They've been
but-
moved.
right. So it could be possible that they've moved stuff on 3.14 because the dev teams have been working on this so much over the past week or so, trying to get it ready, that maybe it's pushed everything back.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I can imagine right now is that Chris is like, guys, I know you're all tired. I know you all want to go home, but we need this fixed before live on Friday.
Yeah.
Like, it is probably crunch central at CIG right now.
Well, fuck yeah.
And I can't blame them for it, to be honest. Like obviously they have this free fly event. The numbers go through the frigging roof for these free fly events. Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to say everybody plays it. So at the end of the day, like, they want this free fly to go off really smoothly, and to sort of like, it's like, hey, look what we're doing at CIG. And if we have people that are, for example, the maximum 50 contacts is a thing, but it's but like ship positional desync, that's kind of bad. Like, yeah, stuff like that is gonna, it's gonna break this sort of this free fly event. But I don't know. Any final thoughts on this patch, guys, before we jump into the roadmap, or
Not really.
Fez, anything you want to say?
No, I'm just happy that I finally have my my Hercules and my Tonk.
Yeah, I would say it's like 4 steps forward, 2 steps back with this patch.
I do want to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
In one of the patches on the PTU,
Mhm.
they gave the Hercules C2 and the M2 a small SCU buff,
Mhm.
but in the live they do not have the SCU buff.
So do you know which patch it was where they gave the SCU buff for?
It was like 1 or 2 patches before the one that was yesterday.
Alright, so the one yesterday was J, so you think it might be like I or H. So maybe they'll redact it again.
I mean, they were going to give it the SCU boost. I don't know what changed.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the numbers now. The live patch is the same as the J patch. It's the exact same build number. So anything that was in J should be in the live patch. So It looks like they've possibly removed the SCU buff for those in the J patch. Maybe they reevaluated or something. I'm not quite sure. We'd have to. You could always ask them on the website on the Spectrum, but yeah, it looks like they might have removed it. But apart from that, guys, look, obviously with this, obviously this patch, it's like I say, 4 steps forward, 2 steps back. Yes, there are some really, really amazing things in the docking and ship-to-station docking, ship-to-ship docking, the tonk, the M2, the C2. All this stuff is like really uber cool. I just hope they get some of these known issues fixed before they go with the free fly event. And I would expect another patch tomorrow morning, to be honest. I'm surprised that the PTU doesn't have a patch today, to be honest, actually. Sorry.
I mean, we're not ruling out the possibility of a patch later tonight, because remember, we have seen a CIG push out a patch super late and the American time, and we've also seen them push out a patch on a Sunday. So
yeah,
it's not completely out of the question yet, but they are running out of time. That is the most obvious thing.
I'm just asking now. I just asked in chat, and we'll see if we get a response. All right. So apart from that, let's obviously do the thing that's the really good news. Let's talk about the roadmap. So the roadmap update or roundup. We do have it here. Noticeable changes for the progress tracker, release view. Holy dilly, there's a lot of changes. All right.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Should we make this another video?
We can.
Yeah, split it up. Alright guys, we're going to do that. We're going to split up. So next video we'll talk about the roadmap, and because there's a lot to break down. So obviously if you're watching this now, it'll be literally coming up right after this, and it'll be the 3 of us again. So guys, if you like this part of the video, smack that like button. Obviously, Ferret's YouTube channel and Twitch will be in the description below. So obviously, feel free to go and give him some like and some love. John, you don't have a YouTube or Twitch, do you?
No, not right now. I don't.
Apart from that, guys, obviously, yeah, if you like the video, smack that like button, and obviously, we'll do the roadmap in literally a few minutes. See you then.